If you don't like your job, you're not alone. That is actually a very common experience. Considering the amount of time we spend working in our adult lives, it is so important for our overall sense of well-being that we enjoy what we do most of the day. I'm not saying we should all go out and chase a quote-unquote dream job, because it is just that, a dream. However, it is possible to feel purpose and meaning in your daily work. In today's video, I'm going to tell you how to find a job you actually enjoy. In order to find a job you actually enjoy doing, we need to figure out what actually makes a good day a good day. In the book Everyday Vitality by Samantha Boardman, there are 3 requirements or 3 components of a good day. If any of these 3 are lacking in your job, or all 3, then you are going to feel frustrated and stressed and probably burnt out. The first is autonomy. Autonomy refers to the ability to make your own decisions. It's kind of this sense of self-government that you get to choose at least parts of your workday. The amount of autonomy that you need or want is going to be different depending on each person. Some people, are very entrepreneurial. Some people are entrepreneurs and they want to be able to make all the decisions and plan everything themselves, whereas other people might want autonomy with when they do the work, which projects they choose to work on, the process of getting the work done. Ask yourself, do you have any sense of autonomy in your job? Do you get to make choices and do you feel in control? The second component of a good day is a sense of competency. This is a feeling of overall proficiency. Basically, to feel competent at your job, you need to know what the expectations are and know that you can meet those. All 3 of these, but especially competency, are not going to come immediately, so it's important that you've been in your job for at least 3 to 6 months. You're not just brand new, because no one's competent right out of the gate. But if you've been in your job for a while and you still don't feel competent, then you're just going to feel frustrated and defeated at the end of the day, because you don't know how to meet the expectations and feel like you are doing a good job. The final component is relatedness. These are going to be different for different people, but this one refers to connection with other people or a higher purpose. Some people are very extroverted and they want to work with lots of people all day long. Teachers or salespeople, people who just get more energy from being around people, might need a really high sense of relatedness, a lot of connectivity in their job, whereas some people, 1 meeting a week is all they need. So figure out where you're at in that spectrum and then ask yourself if your job is filling that need. To figure out where you're at in this spectrum, think about the last time you did have a good work day. How much social interaction was involved in that? And it could be work-related or not work-related. That all matters. Think about these 3 things and figure out which 1 or 2 or 3 are missing from your daily life. If there is only 1 component missing, you might be able to just tweak your current situation to make it more fulfilling and satisfying for you. If you have the competency and the autonomy in your job, maybe you just need more connectivity with other people. Maybe you can schedule more coffee talk meetings or meet up with your coworkers outside of work. Maybe there's just 1 little part that isn't quite connecting and you can just make a small change and see if that helps. But if it is more than 1 of these components, or there's no way you can add more autonomy into your job and that's what you really need, then it is time to start looking for a career change. When I read Everyday Vitality, and especially this section in the book, it was like a light bulb moment for me, because I went to college to become a teacher and I was a high school English teacher for technically 1.5 years, because I started like halfway through the year. I know now that I didn't have all 3 of those components working together, and that's why I felt so defeated and like I wasn't doing a good job. When you're a 1st or 2nd year teacher, you're not going to feel competent because it's just so hard to prepare for a job like that. I definitely did not have the competency. Some days I did, but most days I did not. The autonomy was lacking. So I know now that if I had been able to make more of the decisions about the lessons I was teaching, I think I would have been happier as a teacher. We worked in a team with other teachers and I definitely let the other teachers steer that ship a lot more. I didn't really have a voice yet or the confidence to stand up for what I thought. From the beginning, I didn't feel super competent, but I thought I would get there. But then once that autonomy felt like it was taken away, all I had was the relatedness, and there were a lot of people because I was a teacher. There was a lot of connection, but it was too much connection. All 3 of these components were kind of out of whack for me, and I think that's why I was unhappy teaching, among all the other problems with the education system. Step 2 is to learn more about yourself. I don't know about you, but when I was 18 and joining college, and then when I was 22 and leaving college, I still didn't know what I wanted to do with my life. Didn't really know who I was yet. You might have taken career aptitude quizzes in high school or in college, but go ahead and take some more. You've changed, your worldview has changed. Take as many career aptitude quizzes as you can find online and use these just kind of as ideas. Obviously, these are not hard and fast rules. You don't have to listen to any of them in particular, learn about the jobs that are out there that you might not have thought about before. Also journal about your ideal workday. If you could just create your ideal workday, what would it look like? Set a timer for like 10 or 15 minutes. Sometimes I have to force myself to like write a full page or for a certain amount of time to really dig stuff up that I didn't even know I wanted. Also journal about your current job. What are the stressors? What are the parts you're not liking? Try to get specific. If you just have this hazy idea that you don't like your job, but you don't know why, then it's gonna be really hard to find the right one. Is it the workload? Is it the actual work you're doing? Is it the industry you're in? Is it just the time? There are so many things it could be. Is it just the people you're working with? Do you need to just switch companies, but like you're in a good industry? Try to get specific if you can. And now I am going to tell you about my favorite tool that really helped me on this journey of trying to find a fulfilling job for myself, and that is the Sparketype assessment. I actually found this listening to a podcast. I will link the podcast and the assessment and all the resources down below in the description box. It's called the Sparketype assessment. This one is a little bit different than a normal career test because instead of telling you, you would enjoy being a teacher or you would enjoy being a financial analyst, this one tells you more of the process of work that you enjoy. Instead of pointing you to a specific job, it just tells you the type of work that fulfills you. So there are 10 different Sparketypes. They all point to a different way of working in the world. You have the maker, person who lives to turn ideas into reality, the scientist, the person who lives to solve problems, the maven, the person who loves learning for its own sake, the essentialist, the person who feels alive when they create order from chaos, the performer, the person who enlivens any interaction, the warrior, the person who is driven to organize and lead people, the sage, the person who's driven to teach and share wisdom, the advocate, the person who champions others, the advisor, the person who gives guidance, and the nurturer, the person who lives to nurture others. When I took this quiz, I had been, I think, 6 months removed from my teaching job, and I was about 6 months into my quality assurance analyst role, and I just knew that this job is not what I want to do 20 years from now. It's a great job, don't get me wrong, but it wasn't fulfilling. So I was really looking for what is going to give me this sense of purpose, and my Sparketype was the advisor. The advisor feels most fulfilled and alive when they are helping to guide people through life coaching, or like a therapist, which if you've seen some of my videos, that is what I am currently pursuing. This also helped me see why I thought teaching would be a good fit for me, but it wasn't. Teaching is close because you are still connecting with students, and my favorite times teaching had nothing to do with English or the subject I was teaching. It was the interaction with students, and when they would come to me with problems and I could help them in some way, those were the times that were most meaningful to me. So now I can look at that and just see that as a step in the right direction, learning what it is that fills me with purpose, and that is helping to guide people through life's challenges. If you do nothing else from this video, I would say at least take the Sparketype test because it's just kind of a different twist on these career aptitude tests. And the great thing about it is since it's more of your method of work, you could actually incorporate this into your current job and try it out right away. If you find out that you're actually the sage and you love to teach and share wisdom, but there is no teaching in your current job, maybe you could look into that, figure out how can you maybe take someone who's new, take them under your wing and teach them, and that could instill more meaning in your daily work. Or if it's the performer, can you add any kind of performance aspect into your current job? There are so many options, and once you know this, at least for me, it was like a puzzle piece fitting together. Let me know what your type is if you take this. I am so interested. Okay, what to do from here? We have looked at the 3 components of a good day and career aptitude tests, journaled about what you actually want in a job, and we've looked at your preferred method of working, what fulfills you. So what do you do with all this information? If you can, put it into practice right away. If there are little tweaks you can make to your current day job and you don't need to completely uproot your career, then go for it. See if that makes you happy and fulfilled. But if you do decide you want to change careers like me, I'm on career change number 3, it's okay. Start the research right away. Obviously, I'm partial to YouTube. I think day in the life videos are so helpful. Whatever industry or whatever specific job you're looking into, see if people are making videos about it, because I find that that's sometimes more informative than like a corporate list of here's what your daily tasks are. What are people actually doing in their workday? Don't be afraid to reach out to people also. People love talking about themselves. So if you ask them questions like, hey, what is your favorite part of your job? What is your least favorite part of your job? Is there anything you wish you could change? These would be great questions to really get a feel for the day in and day out of the job. And you're also making connections if you do decide to go this route. That person could be a great resource later on. Don't get swept up in anyone's answers. That's why I suggest journaling, because you can go back to your list of things you want and don't want in a job and compare their answers. It might be a job that in your head is a perfect fit for you, and then it's actually not. This happened with me with personal training. I actually purchased the whole NASM certification class and took it, did all of it except for the certification exam. I don't regret it because I learned a lot and I love fitness anyway. It is a passion of mine, but I realized that personal training was not exactly what I wanted. And I think part of learning that was through watching a lot of personal trainers, vlogs, day in the life, hearing people talk about the job. I also got a personal trainer and got like that firsthand experience to see like how the actual sessions go. I'm so glad I did. I'm so glad I learned about it before trying to jump into that, which leads me to the next step, and it is just to try it out. That really helped me narrow down my choices when I thought I wanted to do personal training. I tried it out in some capacity. I started learning it. If you know the direction you want to go is going to require more schooling, you can start reading books that are required for those classes. I've started reading different books relating to the field of psychology to just get more information, make sure it is what I think it is. I also listen to a lot of psychology podcasts. So look for podcasts, classes. If you're wanting to transition into a more creative role, can you start making those things right now? If you want to become a video editor, can you start a YouTube channel? If you're wanting to get into software, can you start learning how to code? Go ahead and give yourself as much practice as possible. The benefit of this is if it is something that fulfills you and kind of lights you up, you're gonna feel that spark, and then you'll know, okay, yes, this is the direction I wanna go, or close, but we need to pivot. It can be so hard to try to find a job that you like, and it can be discouraging, and then you start to think maybe no one actually loves their job. But I think taking the time to do all this work and learn yourself before just jumping into the next one really helps to find what fulfills you. The more people live fulfilled, meaningful, purposeful lives, the better off we all are. Thank you so much for watching this video. If you have any questions, leave them down below. I will try to answer or help or direct you to a resource. Thanks so much. See you next time.